I'll be moving to Houston, Texas to meet yet another interesting guest. His name is Terence Neville Limona. Limona is a Cameroonian actor who is based in Texas, and of course he's been liking and doing his art the way he knows best. He is the next guest in this episode of African Cocktail, and at exactly 10 minutes to 11, let's move over to Houston, Texas to welcome our next guest. Terence Neville Limona, I call you T-Boy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Ernest. How are you?
I'm alright, and you?
I am doing good. It's a beautiful day in Houston, Texas.
Definitely. It's exactly 9:51 in Texas, in Houston now.
Right.
Right. So, Terence, how has your week been so far?
It's been a great week, working hard, trying to make things happen. You know, we got to work hard every day.
I know.
Blessing.
That is the United States of America. Work, and work.
Work.
So, could you just tell our listeners who are getting to know you for the first time who Terence Neville Limona is?
Terence is an aspiring Cameroonian actor who lives in Houston, born and raised in Cameroon, grew up in Limbe, a dedicated father and a husband.
That's interesting. So, like I said, you are a movie actor. Could you just tell us more about your relationship with acting? How did it come about?
Acting has never been one of my priorities. I've never actually thought of doing acting as a career until late in summer 2010, where I met this wonderful director, Cameroonian director by the name of Gordon Mumawo.
Right.
I actually told him that I can be behind the scenes helping with this stuff, but acting wasn't my thing. He was like, I just wanted to try.
Okay.
And fell in love with it. He did the first time, fell in love with it, and now it's going to be my career.
Now, before you met this Cameroonian filmmaker, you definitely would have been watching Nigerian movies, other African movies, and even Hollywood movies. Did that kind of inspire you in a way?
Mr. Ernest, I am a fanatic. I love home movies. I love Nigerian movies. I spend my time watching them. I buy them. I have a whole bunch of closet full of Nigerian movies. But acting was never part of it.
Right.
Until 2010. I just love watching it. Never thought of even being an actor because it wasn't something that I looked forward to. It wasn't something that I thought I could do.
Right.
Yeah.
And finally, you are in it. So, which are some of the movies you have featured in so far, and which of them would you say have marked your career most?
The first movie I ever did in Houston with Gordon was High Ends. I did that movie just for fun, and then I saw they made this Nigerian producer who liked the way I acted because the acclamation I got from that movie was off the park, and he casted me in 3 of his movies. We just finished shooting Bloodline Battle, which is an epic African movie.
Right. And
I also took part in a blockbuster movie, which actually the premiere is coming out on the 26th of this month after Giyama.
Right.
It's called The Other Side. We just finished shooting that last month.
Great. So, tell me, who are some of the African actors you have had the chance to work with, and what has been your experience working with them? I know you live in Texas, and every now and then you have some popular Nigerian and Ghanaian actors streaming into town, so you must have had the chance to work with some of them.
Yes, Mr. Ernest. It's been a blessing, to be in Houston where the Nollywood market is so big. But I've had the opportunity to work with so many different big names, Nigerian actors and actresses like Bess David. He lives in DC area, but he was here in Houston while we were shooting Bloodline Battle.
Right.
I also had the chance to work with Okawa Shasne, who is also an up-and-coming Cameroonian actress. I know you must have heard of her. She was the first person I ever did a lead role with.
Right.
I've also had the chance to work with Chess Anikwe, and I also had the pleasure of working with Uche Jumbo in our last production, The Other Side. It was challenging because, as an upcoming actor, you don't really know how to be with these people, and then you have this notion behind your head that, oh, these are great actors and actresses, you want to do your best, trying to learn from them and trying to see what they do in order to incorporate yourself. But I think the best thing is just be you, do what you got to do, and do what the producer and director says. So it was a pleasure working with them now.
Right, and you must have had working relationships with directors and producers as well. How has that been?
I, for one, I'm that kind of a person. I like taking orders. Maybe because of the nature of my job, I follow directions a lot. And I've never really had an issue with a producer or a director saying that, okay, this is how I want it to do it, and I do it in a different way. To me, direction is the key. I always listen and follow directions to my producers. I had the chance to be directed by one of the finest Nigerian directors in Houston, John Okafor.
Right.
Yes, so I am really blessed that this movie career, this new genre in my life, is going to be something that I really love and something that I really want to do.
Right. I know that being a young African movie actor in the diaspora is a completely different scenario from being one back home in Africa. Are you satisfied being a movie actor here? Do you have any regrets?
For now, Mr. Ernest, I don't think I would say I have any regrets. Since I'm still new in this industry, there's a lot of things to learn. There's too much knowledge out there that I have to grasp. I can't focus myself on regrets right now. I got to focus on how I'm going to build my career, how I'm going to build myself to be a better actor.
Right.
No regrets so far.
No regrets,
none
so
of it.
far.
It's been a pleasure, and I'm happy doing this.
So, Terence, currently, in what project are you involved?
We just finished shooting one of this movie I was telling you about, that the premiere is coming up on the 26th, The Other Side. For right now, I'm just relaxing because I have other issues I'm trying to focus on, which is going to take away from movie for a little while, because we're still trying to build our Cameroon film industry. That's my focus right now in the diaspora. So I'm going to finish that project and see what we're going to do before I even move to any project right now.
Right.
For acting, I have no project right now going on.
Okay, before you leave us, Terence, do you have any African or Cameroonian filmmaker you would always look up to as a role model? Just someone you would like to pay tribute to on this medium?
And as one of the things I noticed is Cameroon has been doing movies from time immemorial. We just didn't know about it. We've been doing movies before. No, I'm not trying to speak out of hearsay, but I did my research and I saw some of those movies, because when I started doing movies, I had to go back and see the root of where all this is coming from. And there were so many good producers and directors back at home that I'm sure most people don't even know. One of the persons that I can really pay tribute to is Jean-Marie Teno. Now I'm sure you must have heard of Jean-Marie Teno. This movie is a classic. That is the kind of person I look up to today and say, if I have an opportunity to be directed by somebody in Cameroon, I will go down on my knees and say, God, please let it be him. He is outstanding.
Terence Neville Limona is his name. Thank you so much, T-Boy, for joining us in this edition of African Cocktail.
Thank you for having me on your show, Mr. Ernest, and you have a wonderful day.
Do have a fantastic rest of the day out there in Houston, Texas. And this is the 69th episode of African Cocktail, coming to from Africa Radio with Ernest Kanjo and, of course, Janet Otieno here live in the studio of Africa Radio. Our main guest is Fatoumata C. We shall soon be going back to Maryland to have her. But Janet, we're just talking there to a movie actor, and I would just like to use this opportunity to ask you about the movie landscape in Kenya. How is it going on?
The movie landscape in Kenya is growing, and we are expecting the best from the guys down there.
Right.
Yes.
And I see a lot of music videos from Kenya. Looks like you have some good technicians, you know, in that sector, because when I watch videos from Kenya, I see they are really brilliantly done. Yeah,
we have very good boys there. The video directors there are great. They are awesome. They know what they are doing. They go extra mile to get to know what is supposed to be done, and they are doing their best. And if you compare them with like all the directors in the world, I can say they are somewhere. They are doing very, very well. Right. Yes.
Tell me, Janet, for how long have you been in music?
I have been in music for 1 year and 2 months.
Oh, 1 year, 2 months.
Yes.
So why gospel music?
For one, I am a born-again Christian.
Right.
And for you to do gospel music, you must, I mean, for you, a born-again Christian, if you want to do music, it has to be gospel. And it's something that has been inside me ever since I was a little girl.
Right.
And that's why I decided to go the gospel way. Yes.
And so, how many songs have you written so far?
There are lots of them. There are so many. I have like 5 or 6 of them in YouTube, and so many of them out there that are not yet in YouTube. But there are so many. And
you have an album in circulation already?
Yes, I have an album in circulation. It's called Napokea Kwako.
Right.
It's doing very well, even back at home.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, her name is Janet Otieno. She is a frontline Kenyan gospel artist who is young in the industry, but she's already making great strides. And we have the privilege to have her in the studio of Africa Radio today. And of course, the show is African Cocktail with Ernest Kanjo. 614-987-5097 are the numbers to dial to get in touch with us if you want your voice heard in this episode of the show. Still to come, we have Augusta Chiambaho, the PRO of the Project New Bamenda, who will be talking all the way from the Northwest Regional Capital of Cameroon. Then we also have our correspondents, Ifana Kuala will be talking from Douala, Solomon Atta from Johannesburg, Titus Banyo from Antwerp, Belgium, and lots of exciting items still coming up. Don't forget, the University of Boya Choir 2 is also online in this edition of African Cocktail. Let's listen to Maurice Kante, then we'll be right back.